My name is Oladapo Gabriel, and on today's panel session for TEDxUniOsun 2025, I'll be the moderator. And here with me are also brilliant minds, handsome faces, and beautiful faces from other different aspects of life. I also encourage them to introduce themselves and what they do, and which will also be pertaining to what we are going to be doing here today. I will be starting from my right.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Martin Benamosi, a front-end developer and a UI/UX designer from the Department of Agricultural Engineering.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Deborah, a front-end developer and also a co-founder of Bits that's been involved in tech.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Augustin Jeffrey by name, and I'm a digital marketer and also an app developer. So, I'm from the Department of Computer Science. Thank you.
Good afternoon to you all. My name is TEDxUniOsun, and I am a brand identity designer from Computer Science Department.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Abdikarim Toib, a student of Department of Information System, and I'm a data analyst.
Thank you very much for having all of you around today, and I hope we are going to do justice to the topic that we have with us today. Okay, so today we are going to be doing justice to a topic of particular concern, which is bridging the gap between analysts, creatives, designers, UI/UX developers, and also brand designers. I think I've mentioned that. So, but I would want us to know that these different fields, they all have what they actually specify or specialize in. And for us to achieve a result, for us to develop something successfully, these different arms have to come together. They have to understand themselves. They have to speak one language for us to come together and build something and have a good result. So follow us, sit back, and enjoy. So I would want us to understand that bridging the gap is solving those common, those trying to achieve that common language among these different arms. And for a developer, you agree with me that a developer is someone that does the work of building something, does the work of arranging something. I'll just relate it with, so like we are trying to build a home now. We are trying to build a home, and you've only invited a bricklayer to the site. What a bricklayer will just be doing is laying the blocks, right? And without direction, a bricklayer will just lay anything that you've asked him to lay, right? So, but with proper direction, with the guidance of architect and other arms, they'll be able to come up with a good plan and build something beautiful. Do you get? So, developer. Why creatives are those that actually give meaning to what we are building. They tell us the why you need what we are building. They impute the emotional aspect into what we are building. They tell the story of what we are building. they write the story of what we are building to make meaning, to tell you why you need them. Are you with me? And also, the UI/UX designers, they are those people that that gives that makes what we are building usable for us. That makes what we have built to be used in a smooth way for us, right? And the data analysts, they are the ones that we can term as the researchers. So they find out why are people more attracted to this kind of building than this one. Why do people don't usually stay up to 3 months before leaving this house? What is actually the problem? So they make research. They find out what is making people not to find interest and what is making people to find more interest on the other hand. Do you get? And they analyze this in a chart and work together with developers, storytellers to know where they will point their attention to. And also the brand designer, these ones are those people that come together to make what we are building, the brand, to maintain the integrity of that brand, such that what you built in the past 10 years, we still maintain its integrity. We still have people's trust, even in 10 years to come, or more than 10 years to come. And we even serve people better. Okay? So, knowing this in mind, I think I've been able to break down the topic that we have in front of us today to a more inceptive form for us. So my first question will be general, okay? And it goes thus. Can each of us seated here give one experience that you have had with working with either of these roles, be it a analyst, creative, brand designer, UI UX developer? What challenges have you had? What experience have you had dealing with them? I'll start with from my right.
Okay, thank you for the question. So I've worked both as a developer and as a designer, which means I've worked with designers, developers, content writers.
Can you please
in particular
introduce yourself again and what you do?
Once again, I'm Martin Benamosi, a front-end developer and a UI UX designer. So like I said, I've worked both as a front-end developer and as a designer as well, which means I've worked with developers, content writers, and designers. Since designers are our closest partners, you know, they design, we develop. I think experience, right? So, now if you're a developer, you'll be able to relate. Your biggest enemy and your biggest friend are designers. You know, they create designs. They see designs as arts, as a way to show off their creative skills. But sometimes these designs they create, it's not easy to translate to usable websites. Though they might be attractive, but most times they are not functional. You know, we are left with trying to create a space scenario from just codes. So it's usually a bittersweet relationship between designers and developers. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. Kindly introduce yourself and what you do.
Okay. I'm Deborah, a web developer and also founder of Bits, Be Involved in Tech. Okay, just like you said, I've also worked like as an UI UX designer, a developer, and all. Like I've worked in all aspects before. So all I can say is that as a designer, yeah, the designer, they design it for us to code, but sometimes it's not always easy. So most of the time, what we do is we speak with them. We like to collaborate with them to let them know that, oh, this is how it works, what they are designing. So like, it's just like communicating and collaborating with them. They try to understand what we are struggling with and try to make it easier for us. So,
Has there been a point where they brought something that you are not able to?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes always difficult. Then what you can do is collaborate with them. Let them know how this thing that you build, I won't be able to do it. It won't be possible for us to develop it, to design, like to code it out. So it's easier for them even before they start designing it. When you collaborate with them, you communicate with them, it will be easier for them to do something that you'll be able to design, to code out.
All right, thank you very much for that.
So just like I said before, I'm Augusto Jeffrey by name. A digital marketer and also an app developer. So based on the experience I have with other fields, I'll first start with designers. Designers, they feel like, yes, everything must be beautiful and creative and, think of every other side, sort of things you can think about. But then they don't know that, let me just give you an example of mine. I, try to build a couple of, written content, that brings up with people emotions, they want to turn into design. And this designer that I met, he was like, oh my goodness, this is too like, come on, more complex, and like, okay, how can we break this? Like, this thing must be creative, this thing must be, that's to them, right? But that's, yes, if you're just giving, okay, let me just say now, chin chin, or you are promoting a brand, or you are selling products like chin chin or biscuits, you just like, as graphic designer, they'll be like, okay, buy chin chin, buy biscuit. Does that really connect with people? No. What is the reason behind them buy? What is the reason? Why do you want to let them buy that product? That's what copyright does to, which really connects to emotions. So things like this, it'll be like, designer will be like, this thing is too complex, and a lot like that. And also even to developers sometimes, even though I'm in the field of app development, so there are sometimes that you'll be like, you give us what? How do you, give it us in a single line of code that will be easier for us to do? So all this kind of thing. Then I now figured out that it's collaboration that matters, and also early disclosure of what you are thinking about as a copywriter. So like your idea already matters a lot.
The way you communicate with each other, right? All right, thanks.
I did to hear once again. Of all the career roles you've mentioned, I think the one I'm most related with will be brand designing at this point. And to me, the experience I got from brand designing is self-rediscovery. In the sense of, initially, I'm an artist, talented artist here, but most recently, in the last few months, last few years, I've been able to divert into brand designing, logo designs, graphics design, work with investment firms, fintechs, as well as entertainment industries. So working together with them, I've been able to like develop my intuitive thoughts as a designer, as a creative in the field of creativity here. And applying this intuitiveness back into art, which is like my core focus growing up, has made my, when I draw, the lines become more precise. A lot of changes have actually happened. And that's just one of it. Another one I would like to mention is that I'm sure every designer...
What is actually your experience with other fields, such as in creatives, working with the creatives, the brand designers, the web developers, and other fields?
Like as a team?
Yeah. As a brand designer.
As a brand designer, you barely have an opportunity to work with developer. But yeah, UI UX designer, we work together, and it's what can I say? It's very amazing because it's two talents in creativity coming together to build something so amazing. So yeah, I vibe with them very much. But you see the data analysis aspect and developer aspects, I feel like their thought processes are much more technical, and they tend to be obsessive with numbers and functionalities, which gives a gaps in perspective when we're talking about design. Some design just come with flow, but a developer and analyst will be like, okay, why is the design like this? Why is this way? It should have a meaning, it should have this thing, and not everything, it just comes with the flow. So that gap in perspective is like a challenge I face with them as well.
The way people see things differently.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone, once again. I'm Abdikarim Toib, and I'm a data analyst. So basically, I work mostly with developers to help them with mostly clean their data and make some data sets. So the experience has always been nice most of the time, except there was one time like that, a developer came, he wants to create something. He brought the data. I should help him to clean it and make some insight. Then I told him the data you brought was not complete. It won't be enough for what you need it to do. There are some details that are missing. So I was like, no, that's the one I want you to look. Don't look for another data. Don't bother looking for extra data or anything. Use exactly that one. And I just have to do what to do. He asked me to do. Even though the data might not be sufficient. I know it might not be sufficient for what you want to do. Imagine you want a data of a school, you did not include the address. You want to create like a data set, a map or something, you didn't include the address.
With different variables needed.
Different variables. So I had to ask him that you have to like, should I help you to source for data or you get another data set for me? Or I know, that's the one I want to use. So I think that's like one of the...
Thank you very much for that. For that, and we could see that the efficiency in what they do was limited because they all could not come to one language. So, my data analyst, I would like to quickly ask you this: that how do you now make sure your data is easier for creatives and designers? How do you now make sure it's easier for them to understand? What are the things you do?
Okay. The one way to make it easier for them is by doing a very simple and clear documentation of the data. So the whole process of how the data cleaning was done, the visualization will make it as simple as possible. So why doing a data set, or why doing let's say a dashboard for them? Unless you know that the person you are doing it for is somebody that knows about data analysis, can read the dashboard, you are not expected to do a very complicated dashboard for them. So you do a dashboard that is as easy as possible that you can easily read. You want to know who has the highest purchase, lowest purchase, not so, but you know, data analysts too. We tend to like be more creative when we want to like do our dashboards.
Sorry to cut in here. What kind of chart do you think it would be more easier for creative and designer to
Yes, I think the easiest one for them to understand is the bar chart and the column chart. In most cases, the pie chart, and pie chart, it depends on like the number of variables. If it's becoming like 5 or so, it might not be easily...
All right, you actually answered my question.
All
Thank
right.
you very much. So to my front-end developer, I would like to ask this, Mr. Matson. Now, what problems do you often face? Okay, what can creative or designers do to make your job easier?
I think most problem is developers face while working with designers. Designers tend to design for happy parts. So what do I mean by happy parts? They design for the best case scenario. There are some times where, let me use a name for example. Say for instance, for a field for inputting names. Now, designers tend to use names that fit into, or contents that fit into the design they use. But there are some times when it is translated into websites and when data are being fetched, most times the layout, it tends to break. And I think this is the part that most designers overlook. So I think in terms of...
What can you tell them to do?
So in that scenario, I think it's best to discuss with developers before beginning any design. To get maybe mock data. Yeah, let me use that, mock data. They can discuss with developers, get mock data to create their designs before final handoff.
All right, thank you very much for that answer. To Miss Adetu, our brand designer, right? Mr. Adetu, our brand designer. How do you explain the value of branding to people who focus more on function or data?
Okay, value of branding to
Yeah.
people who focus more on.
Or on function or data?
Okay, simply said, I believe functionality answers the what and how a product works. Let's say a product in the sense of a software or an application, for example. So functionality answers what and how it works to the users. Branding answers why. When a user enters a website or an application, signing up, fills in or his or her details, to click the login button, it's the branding that will tell the users why. Why you should click this button, the benefits you are going to get from clicking this button, from joining the product, from becoming a user of that product. That's what branding does. And as you see that, just like that now, you already know that without branding, in any product, it's just like an empty carton.
You also have to show them evidence that people have been doing it this way and it has always been working out this way too.
Yeah, that's what branding is.
Thank you very much for that. So to my UI UX developer, Miss Deborah Oludare. Okay, I would like to ask, what advice would you give to young women trying to enter the tech space?
Oh, all I can say is, we all belong in tech. You just need to start. Look for a community to join, just like BITS, be involved in tech. Like I said earlier, it helps you connect, it inspires you, it teaches you what to do, we teach you what to do in our community. Look for a community to join, or a tech-focused community, a place that are more involved in, they are more involved in tech, and they are more involved in women. That they want to teach women, they want to teach ladies like us. I'm always so happy when I see ladies like me wanting to join tech, wanting to know more about tech. Or even when I'm doing things and I see a lady like me, I'll be like, what are you doing? I want to know more about this. I want to also learn. I'm always so happy. Don't let us see it like, oh, it only belongs to guys. Like, oh, this tech
what
thing,
a man
I can't
can do,
it.
a woman can do better.
Yeah, this thing, I can't do it. But just see it's like, oh, I can do it. Be determined. Be someone that determined that, oh, I want to do this and I have to do it. I want to learn it and I will learn it. So that's what I can say.
Thank you very much for that wonderful advice. To Mr. Jasper, I would like to ask, how can developers or data engineers bring your ideas to life as a creative?
All right, so talking in the position of a creative, I would say, yeah, developers build. Data analysts and engineers, they are the one behind the scene doing everything to make it work and function. All right, the thing is collaboration. That's number one, collaboration. And maybe we gather together as a team, okay, this is what will work out, this is what we do, this is what we should ignore, this is what we should focus on. Because at the end, we want to come back and achieve one goal, which is what? Giving the success to the project we are about to give out. So that's very important. And also, I would advise those other fields, like if you're an engineer, or like a data engineer or a developer, try to know about other fields. Not like going deeper, but know the basics. Just like now, there's one of my clients that is from China. That is my first job I got. Then that was around $190 something. So he just come to me and said, you need an developer. Then I do the work for them. But I realized then that the beauty, like the creative aspect, the design aspect of the app is not encouraging enough. That's why I need to learn UI UX designer, which I quickly start learning. So things like that. I've also learned other basic aspects of UI UX design. I won't get that kind of bad comment. But then it is very important to communicate with each other and also navigate in other skills like of other fields. Yeah, so that's what I could say.
Thank you very much for that. I get your point. Like you yourself, we ourselves from different fields, we must also have interest in other fields too, in order to communicate better with people in other fields. I think I get that, and that's very wonderful. Thank you very much. So, the final thought here today, let's think of it like we are trying to produce a music band, and the developers are the drummers, right? So they give the beats, right? And creatives, songwriters, they write the songs, and UI UX designer, they make the stage beautiful. They make the video shooting beautiful, the sound, the tone, they make everything beautiful, so it will be good to people's ear. And the analysts, sound engineers, so where do I need to increase the treble, where do I need to decrease the bass, to make everything sync. And the brand designer, to make the whole band look and feel good to people. So, by and large, we've been able to address the common gaps between creatives, analysts, developers, and UI UX designer to some extent. And I hope we gained one or two. Thank you very much. So, see you next time.